Hello, everyone. Very trippy music. I tried to put the. I don't have the main one, but yeah, this is Stop Losing, Start Trading, the crypto trading show that me and Rosalie, aka the Crypto Queen, are doing 3 times a week. This is an opportunity for me and the Panoptic team to kind of talk about options, how we would trade like on Panoptic, but this is also applicable to any options protocol. The goal is to demystify maybe some of the complexities, make it fun and engaging. Uh, and yeah, I mean, Rosie has been doing great. She's had a good track record. So with success trades here, the intern decides to do the trade. Sometimes they don't, but that's fine. Nothing is life or death when you trade options, actually, if you size properly. And yeah, so nothing we say is financial advice, of course, full disclosures, you know the deal. This is for entertainment purposes and then for us to showcase Panoptic. But yes, first, again, after this intro, how are you doing today, Rosalie?
Good, good. Yeah, I was a little hypnotized by the music and the interstellar intro.
I have a bunch of those GIFs. I love Interstellar. Have you
Yes, I
watched
have.
it?
I've watched it twice, I think, but yeah, it's great.
Yes, I watched it in IMAX, and I lived in Chicago back then, and there's like 10 screens that are full IMAX sized in the US. It's actually quite uncommon. And this is the one that is like, I don't know, 4 stories high. And then I live right next to it. Snuck out one afternoon to watch it. Best movie experience of all times. Imagine the black hole. They are approaching it. You see this almost as if we were there. Still got goosebumps from that movie 10 years ago.
Fun, yeah. I watched Oppenheimer in IMAX as well. It was really intense. So,
No, yeah, Christopher Nolan definitely. It's an experience when you watch these movies in whatever life
but
size.
yeah,
So
talking about market trends and everything going on in crypto, I think yeah, ETH seems to be doing a little bit better. Bitcoin might be down a little bit from recent all-time highs, but it's still looking really good. We have a trading competition on Bitcoin, so it's on base, and we launched it on Monday. And so, yeah, we're really excited to talk about that later as well.
yeah, and then the markets move again in suddenly, and then they stay quiet. I guess Bitcoin is moving on its own, and yes, I agree with you that it's pretty much like off the all-time highs, but nothing catastrophic, nothing that is kind of maybe the profit opportunities. We'll see what the next week we'll have to gauge. But yeah, a lot of what we see is this kind of sideways market for a while. Then there's a big move. Then it's sideways. We've seen some moves here, but yeah, 105. It's still a pretty nice price. I wouldn't yeah, be unhappy about this. But yeah, so with the last 7 days, kind of sideways. Yeah, if you're, I don't know if you yeah, have you tried to do the competition
Not
or
yet, not
uh
yet. I wanted to figure out what my strategy is.
yeah, maybe talking strategy. It might be hard to access that trade from the US. Okay, of course, we block US users, but yeah, if you were to look at this current price move, what would be your trade, your trade, or maybe your assumption about the price of Bitcoin?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to, I don't know, have it go back up and kind of profit on buying an option in the short term on a big price move like that, because it seems like that's not really something we've done with intern, or I have done personally. But that's tricky, right? And so I think I would prefer to do something a little bit more range bound, maybe something in between like 103 and 108 or something, and try to kind of capitalize on swings there, maybe go a little lower even. But I want to
Yeah.
be more capital efficient. And yeah.
I'm also the same way. Whenever I try to predict the price, I'm always wrong, and not just wrong, kind of catastrophically wrong. Goes the other way. And when you buy options, we were lucky last competition to see a huge God candle on ETH, the number one account loaded up on call options, and their bet paid off. But yeah, the unless you time this right, you may be paying, and even now the intern has a call option that's been open, but it's you're paying on one side, looking for the price move you want, but it's difficult to time. And then I'd say that, as you said, being range bound, looking at the past month, looks like 103 to 108 is mostly in range, and this is something you can do with options. You can express a neutral trade, which is quite difficult to do, even with like perps, buy or sell. Doing nothing it gets you nothing, whereas here, price doing nothing can net you some profits.
Yeah, I think yeah, everybody got really lucky with that. I think interns down quite a bit on that specific position last time I checked. It looked a little.
Yeah, I mean, intern convergence of events. He was left to his own device or their own device. You were traveling. I purposefully did not address the intern's portfolio. Good outcome is that even though we had positions that were open and not managed, they did not get wiped out. They still have some funds. We were hedging, and it would maybe break even. Even they did not lose money in a weird way. So, but yes, something to keep attention. Options are definitely for the leverage, but yes, being directional, being maybe a bit less careful could wipe you out. Less risky than perps for sure, but still, there's some risk involved. Yes, ETH. I think we're
Good.
due for a big move. Personally, I think it's been a
Big up
month.
and
I think up. I don't know if you've noticed the Ethereum Foundation. They're kind of pivoting a little bit. I think it's helpful. Nerds just like myself like the tech first approach, but if you want to onboard or at least compete with Bitcoin, compete with Solana, all the layer twos, like not necessarily like frivolous marketing, but just kind of playing to your strength, being a bit more vocal about it, should put ETH back on the radar. So I would say that the this is announced yesterday. I don't know if it's priced in or not, but at the end, there could be like a larger awareness so that people don't just buy Bitcoin by default, but they can see Ethereum's potential. So I would also be maybe on the bullish side, given that we've been stable for so long. People that had to buy did buy in the past full month. Now it's kind of new money that will need to move the price. But yeah,
yeah, I saw a tweet as well from I think Vitalik this week. So yeah, let's see what
and
intern.
yeah, we'll say again, Ethereum is our home. We do want this to be successful. Again, we don't really want to be tribal, but what helps Ethereum, what whenever Ethereum is going well, every protocol and the ecosystem is going well. So yes, that's kind of the idea. So today we'll do some of the portfolio management that we used to do. We do typically with intern. We'll also talk about the competition as well. So maybe uh, we'll go through a few positions and try to find interesting ones or those that seem to be kind of performing well, even though we've been live only a few days. But yes, first of all, let's look at the portfolio. This is the portfolio view from the intern. Uh, 5 markets. Each one of them, we have an open position. You can swap to USDC. Uh, we're gaining in a few, losing a few. A few are pretty much like -$2. This is fine. -$1. This is fine. Uh, yes, any pair or any market that you want to look at first.
Yeah, let's just start with ETH USDC.
Yeah. Okay. This one is 3 positions. 2 open last week. Two open 2 weeks ago. One open last week. This is the one that was open. We were kind of also maybe a bit bullish, or at least trying to hedge. So we can look at the this option. This is a call option that was purchased. Oh, okay. What do you see? How what does that P&L chart tell you?
Yeah, so we are not making money yet, and we're still paying for that option right now, but it looks like we're kind of getting close to maybe hitting that range. Once we go past the range, we're not paying anymore, right?
That is correct. The mint price was 2,700 ish. Your break even is at 2,700 ish. So we are a bit higher maybe. But yes, you would earn money. But if you were to go above 2,900, you would make $180, $190, but you would not pay more. So that would be a good outcome as well if we see a huge price move on ETH.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it looks fine for now since, um, yeah, I just hate to see this paying premium instead of earning, but I know this is the hedge position.
No,
So
that's right. We're rewiring your trading brain. This is also, I feel uncomfortable sometimes, like paying over time. It's a If it's an upfront cost, maybe it's less of a constant worry. But yeah, buying options, you always feel like you have to make it back. You have to beat the market. Whereas with selling options, like you dread maybe big market moves, but if the market doesn't plays nice in a way, if it plays nice, you have the market trying to beat you. So it's a different way. Think about this. Um, but yeah, this is maybe a asymmetric move. If we go back to 3,400, we could gain a lot of profit on that one trade. This is again one ETH, which is a sizable contract, 200 $2,300 worth of capital, but then we only require 290, so about like 8x leverage. This is maybe a interesting leverage play that does express that bullish behavior quite again abruptly, but yes, let's hope to see this play through. We have two positions, maybe two that are losing. This one is a bearish trade. This one is a bullish trade. Um, Actually, yeah, we can look
Yeah.
at the bullish one, which is I think the most successful one of those. But yeah,
Mhm. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, it looks great. We're not, yeah, we're kind of close to hitting the flat line of this slope. So, when, okay, I
yeah.
see.
If now this is the flip, maybe the flip side. If we do leave that range, we don't get paid anymore. So we want to avoid this. And as you say, as we reach that flat part, which is now the upper break-even point is the upper range is 2,900. If we reach that, then that might be a good sign for management. But I would say we were directionally right. We wanted to be bullish. The price moved up, so we have $22 worth of premium, which is great. But at the same time, we have I guess an extra $20 worth of price capital appreciation. 2 weeks into it, this is actually 15% in 2 weeks. I wouldn't be unhappy with that. Uh, is your bullish assumption still holding true? I guess you have a call, but yeah, if you look at this, do you think we'll hit 2,900 in the next 2 weeks? Or do you think there's going to be a reversal and maybe revisit 2,500?
Um, no, I think, yeah, I'm expecting ETH to go up above 3K sometime soon, but um, yeah, it seems like there's still a lot of like hesitation from the crypto community, but I'm sure.
Maybe sideways
Yeah.
action. Yeah. So and I tweeted about this. This is actually a unique feature of panoptic options, and you Rosalie have been kind of trained in perpetual options, but for real options traders, when you reach that flat part, meaning that you have a small slope, this delta, the slope is zero. I guess if you go above here, it's like 1%, 2%, 5%. This one currently is at 9%, 8%. If you're in TradFi, the slope or the delta being low means that there's no juice left to extract. If you go to zero, you have like no extra revenues possible. If it's at 5 delta, you have a minimal amount. If it's 15, a little bit more. If it's 50 more. And by juice to extract, I mean is how much returns do you expect per day? There's theta decay. This is kind of another Greek, but in TradFi, when a position becomes low delta like this one, you would close it quite rapidly because it's successful, but there's no juice left to extract. In Panoptic or in Uniswap options, there's a unique maybe trade-off, which is regardless of where you are in that range, you earn the same fees. Your theta is constant. So what is normally a kind of low delta, low return or low kind of profit generating option can be low data, which is low risk, but high or medium sized returns. So if people are stuck in that area, this is actually a very good deal because you have no risk. It's almost delta neutral. Price could go down 20%, and then you would see a 5% move or less, or it could go up and you don't see any losses. But you are kind of taking advantage of that full return and taking advantage of that low risk. So it seems in a weird way like these low delta options might be kind of the best bang for your buck because you get low risk, medium sized reward, Whereas if it's at the money, same reward. If it's all the way out there, same reward. So that means that side here is more dangerous, and this one is a bit less dangerous. So that's another kind of perspective that is unique to panoptic options. Your theta is constant over the whole range.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I think yesterday on the research live stream as well, there were some interesting things mentioned about risk reversal. I was kind of tuning in,
Yes.
learning a little bit about it. I know last year May was a big month for options, and so yeah, I'm curious to see kind of what happens now. Yeah,
Yeah. So risk reversal, nice way to tie it back into this. Risk reversal is that you mint a position in that kind of weird low delta range. You sell an option here and you buy another option as
mhm.
well. And yes, the risk reversal analysis also is like a low delta, like a low theta. There's not much juice to extract. It's like purely directional, but you have lower risks. Here, you can actually earn quite a bit of fee. So this kind of shifts the balance. So let's go, yeah, very quickly. Let's maybe discuss what the risk reversal is on the interface. This is a trading interface. It's like a long perp. So you have these kind of different strategies. Long perps is one strategy that we allow. This one is a straight line through and through. You are bullish, you get 5 or 3x leverage on this. Risk reversals that you move these two a bit sideways. And then again, you shift the curve. You have a flat part here. You still get to the slope of one on both extremes, but in that range, you have something that is slightly bullish or slightly kind of, slightly positive delta, but you are kind of not in that, maybe not dangerous zone, but that one-to-one payoff. So if you're wrong, you have some room to kind of manage.
I see. Okay, yeah.
And that specific position, you can imagine even buying one out of the money. So you have what looks like a normal put option, which is not unlike the one that you created. But at the same time, if there is a huge spike in price, you also capitalize on that, whereas the payoff would be flat. So that is a if liquidity is plentiful out of the money, or which is like you can buy calls here cheaply. I would also recommend doing is you have a put option that's earning, and you can time it so that your call option doesn't pay, but it's a hedge as well on the upside in case there's a huge move.
Oh, very interesting. Okay. I was kind of imagining it yesterday as well when I think we sold a monthly option and bought a
Oh,
weekly option recently. But that's different, right?
yeah, that's it. You can play with the expiries. This even like I don't know if risk reversal on different timescales work as much, but I mean without. Let me play and prevent. So you could even have a weird payoff, which is very smooth and wide on that put side, but very sudden if there was liquidity at the daily timescale. So that's another way to kind of also hedge the upside. And that would be extremely profitable if the price goes up in a single candle past your range. You are in the positive delta territory. The 1 day option are definitely more challenging to manage, be out of range that frequently, but maybe so. But yeah, um, cool.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
this is another the and you would you maybe you trade a risk reversal on its own, but it's mostly part of a broader strategy where you have portfolio many positions all at the same time. Um, but yes, so actually we do have the trading competition on BTC USDC on base. Actually, you have one position on mainnet, so let's have a look at this one actually. This was open last week as well. We'll briefly visit this one and maybe go to the competition afterwards. But I think you expressed some bullishness on Bitcoin also last week, and this is an option, a position that intern created. This is yes. Can you describe? I don't know if we describe this specifically, but this is a bullish trade on Bitcoin, right?
Yeah. So I think it looks fine, although the price did go down a little bit. We are earning premium until it goes to 80, which I'm not expecting anytime soon. But yeah, hopefully we can kind of.
Yeah, I think we discussed your expected price range or maybe the floor.
Yeah.
of your position, and maybe 80K was maybe the floor. And right, so this is a different type of trade, which is I can bet my whole house that it's not going to go below that price. It's a different trade than saying I think the price is going to be this in the future. So that has maybe what appears like a lot of risk, but if you're kind of true to that assumption, even if it goes to 85 and 90, you earn fees, and you could still kind of manage this for long term. So yeah, this is a
Yeah.
put option.
And I think that
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense too, because I mean, if it did go towards 80 again, that would be great, right? Because we could be buying more Bitcoin than right now.
Yes, this is the cash secured puts, or the fact that we sell a put. We are kind of obligated to buy that put for the price. It wouldn't be at 80K though. It would be at 100,400. Still below the price, I guess. So you would be buying it cheap. But yes, the effective purchase price, we minted it when it was 107,000. The effective buying price is 100,000. So you are kind of effectively buying it cheaply than it is. You are earning fees as well, and this is kind of going to go up. So that's also a trade where open for 6 days. Bitcoin has a bit lower vol. So even though we say it's a monthly options, maybe more like a month and a
Mhm.
half. So we have to keep this in mind when we manage. But yeah, it's actually a very uh, earning fees, allowing this to kind of play out is kind of the best way moving
Cool.
forward.
Yeah, before we move over to the trading competition, there was a put spread on ETH that I know it hasn't been a month yet,
Mhm.
but I wanted to see maybe if we needed to perhaps manage that.
Yes. The This is this
Yeah,
option
I mean
right
it's not
here.
losing that much, but I don't know if we should.
No, this is a red
Yeah,
flag maybe, but you're
yeah.
paying, so that means that we're likely wrong directionally a little bit and paying both. Oh my god, okay,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
So there's pretty one sneaky thing that happened, but this is a somewhat bearish trade. We used to earn to pay to receive some premium. There's been a
Oh.
reversal about like last week or this week, but this on its own is buying a white option that was out of the money, moving it closer in range and selling a weekly
Mhm.
option. This was working for us quite well, unless until it flipped. And can you kind of maybe describe into it why we went from earning fees and positive premium to now negative premium, almost wiping out all of what we've
Oh
collected?
yeah, that's so unfortunate. Is it because of because the it moved in range?
A little bit. It was in range through the whole time, but there's a somewhat red
Yeah.
flag
So
here.
we bought a more expensive option, right? So there more liquidity added or
Yeah, so someone removed their
removed?
liquidity. So what was a low multiplier, and this is something that again people have to be mindful of, is that when you start a position, someone is selling. For instance, you buy an option, someone is selling on the other side. It's earning or paying at a certain rate, but someone else or that person could either close that position or, and again, do some shenanigans. It means that in your case, you were probably paying maybe 5 to 10% more than the Uniswap fees. Now you're paying 300, like 225% more, which is kind of a bad outcome if you ask me. So um, unless someone sells, again, maybe it's a call to action. If you're also maybe wanting to earn more fees than Uniswap, you could deploy between that range of 2460 and 4000. Could be a call, could be part of a like strangle or something, but you could technically earn more fees. And maybe I'll let an intern kind of be a judge of this. But if no one is selling more options, or that strike which is not attractive anymore, and no one wants to dip into that huge amount of fees, I would recommend intern to close this, either redeploy a similar trade at a slightly more advantageous strike choice. Again, in a weird way, the one that's right next to it seems fine. So whoever was selling here exited the position, made it so that you are paying quite a bit. You and some other account actually are paying quite a bit. uh, this is a this is like the vol surface is not optimal because a few strikes away, you would be paying 1x. Here you pay 3x. The seller should normally come into play, but yeah, that would be maybe a reversal of premia where we were, even though we were buying, we're positive. Now it's negative. Price also didn't go our way, but it's fine. We only lose like maybe a little bit on the price action. It's mostly on the fees now that
Interesting. Yeah, I've never seen the
yeah.
Premia chart look like that.
Yeah. So we are subjected to like the instantaneous price if you want. It's like a funding rate for perps. One day maybe the funding rate is positive, it can return negative. You have kind of a way to now kind of have to manage because these conditions can shift. This happened 4 days ago, maybe over the weekend. So I would imagine that um, intern or whoever is managing your portfolio, every day you look, then you see, okay, oh, this is 3x. You could be selling something here as well yourself
Mhm.
and paying yourself. But yes, paying to someone else is maybe kind of the not optimal outcome for sure. I remember
Okay,
there was like,
we can close this, but
yeah,
sorry.
and I think there was 40 ETH of liquidity. Someone made money because the price did go down a little bit, but unfortunately they left you and the other trader had to to try paying
No
3x
hard
fee.
feelings. We're all just trying to make some Premia. I understand.
Exactly, exactly. So speaking of trying your best, this is let's go to the trading competition on base. One last one. I think there was a ticker Bitcoin trade as well
Mm-hmm.
that was created. And this one is actually in a good spot. So let's just quickly look at this. But this is an option that you can trade on Ticker Bitcoin, which is a meme coin. We've had some successes with these delta neutral strategies. This is another one that Intern opened about a week ago. I'm excited to see where it goes, but it's earning fees. It's kind of widening these break-even points. And if you're bullish on Ticker Bitcoin, you can buy part of this option, or you can buy a put if you're bearish. But this is another one where we are not limited by market makers or the underlying being kind of part of a Chainlink Oracle or any Oracle feed. You can do it on any position, which is
For since this is the ETH ticker Bitcoin pool, when the price of ticker Bitcoin goes up, which direction on the graph do we expect it to go?
yeah, it's gonna go. So it's if the right is where the price goes up. This was slightly bullish, I guess. So it was moving in a way that made you a tiny bit more money from the price action. But yes, if the price outperforms ETH's price, then you would see something going up.
Okay, and if ETH outperforms it, then it goes the other way.
If Ticker Bitcoin outperforms ETH, it goes the other way.
Okay, okay.
Oh no, wait, no, you're right. Sorry. If so, that the if ETH outperforms, if ETH goes to a rally and Ticker Bitcoin for some reason doesn't follow, you see a decrease in price in that chart. So we've seen so Ticker Bitcoin tracked ETH pretty well. Even that 40% increase, we also saw a similar increase on Ticker Bitcoin. So they are quite correlated, I'd say. But
Definitely. No, I was just thinking since we're extra bullish on ETH this month, maybe we need to be more bullish here as well.
I mean, the rising tide like the lifts all boats. This is still pretty volatile, 127%. I take this anyway, and they have the week as well. You're some liquidity, but there is also a fair amount of liquidity in the Uniswap pool. So that's overall a very very uh, cool looking trade if you want to be tapping into this slightly higher volatility. Uh, but yes, actually, let's go and use this to go to the base markets. So we have a. So this is it for intern. I don't think we need to close that position. We need to kind of wait for the call. Nothing that needs kind of careful management besides that trade there. But yeah, intern will be fine. This is the base markets. We have the leaderboard here, which is we track the PNL of everyone that's participating. We have prizes for the best traders, a Michael Saylor pillow for the most volume. We've launched, and there's already people that have deposited, that have traded. We see a bunch of volume. Some people deposit and don't trade. That's why there's zero. But even now, I mean, mild, but 1.3% increase on Bitcoin. The price did not move much, but that's interested. But some people are losing, some are making money. It's all very, 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 very timing it properly. But yes, the last competition was very exciting. We saw some pretty good action. Eager to see what happens on the Bitcoin side. Um, yeah, do you want to have a look maybe at the top trading accounts and kind of walk through their portfolio?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, let's go in this one. So you can click on anyone in that ranking. You can see their trades. Uh, oh, I think this is gonna be. It's not ticker. It's not on base. Sorry about that. So let me go to a local version that allows me to connect my wallet on base. Give me 1 second. But yeah,
Yeah, sometimes I'll use
with
impersonator .xyz
yes.
as well.
Yeah, and yeah, okay. So this position, I mean, we can look at the different positions, but I was looking at their ETH mainnet portfolio, which is kind of different than the base competition because they were trading Ticker Bitcoin, not Ticker Bitcoin, real Bitcoin. All right, with the magic of Git, I'm able to get into the correct branch that allows me to connect with the Helen Killer account. Look at this. This is on base. This account now has been trading on ETH USDC. Oh, no, USDC CBBTC, which is the competition. Uh, they're earning money, but losing in that trade. So maybe they had a couple of trades on. Um, oh, interesting. Okay. So this is the USDC CBBTC market. This is the one that has a trading competition on. There's no Uniswap liquidity. The liquidity is actually pretty healthy. I like to look at the distribution of liquidity. It used to be from the Uniswap kind of olden days of the info metrics website. We also show it here. What you want to see is how tight is liquidity around the current price. And yeah, it's actually pretty tight. Again, even though people have positions all the way down to 50K and up to like 200K, the bulk is still within that price range, which is great. You can imagine if the price were to leave that range, then you would see less liquidity, potentially more returns, more volatility. So that's kind of also the market participants dictate what the average or expected price move is to some extent. So that's also very interesting. Uh, High returns, but that's because everybody's trading like crazy, and then the returns per account is high because everyone is trading to maximize the return. So they may not be as uh, sensitive to trading fees because or commissions because they want to trade big. So that's why it's quite high. But still, we have I think about 50K worth of deposits total, juicy premium, and then the longer you stay in that that market, the more you earn on that front. So we take this into account in terms of the fees. But yeah, that account has a single put option. They did not close anything, and we see it's probably one day deposited. Sorry, bought a call option. Very very bullish. Um, Trying to see why they are up 1% when they lost, but that's fine. This can happen. Uh, but yeah, so this is maybe also maybe a repeat of the ETH price. They expect a lot of price movement on the upside. If there's a crash, they limit, which is great. But if the price doesn't move much, they are kind of net paying. The premium is negative here. It's an interesting kind of first trade. And maybe let's see the volume. Someone that is somewhat active. $7,000 worth of volume. I I don't know if they are on the losing. Oh yeah, they're on the winning side. They have multiple positions, but let's look at the CBBTC ETH. Oh, okay.
Oh wow, that's a lot of positions.
And your experience. So again, where would you start if this was your portfolio? How would you take the pulse of your position? I guess or positions from there.
Yeah, I mean, I would go look at the whole portfolio on the market, but it looks like from first look that they're hedging their own positions here. So
Yes, on
uh,
both
yeah,
sided action. And what is positive delta for a few of them, it's negative delta for others. The delta here is how much you have like at risk or in the money, and it seems pretty
Yeah.
decent. Nothing very, very high. Above zero point 0.5 or 50% is when you want to manage. It's all good. So again, I would say this is a good
Yeah.
trader that is maybe on the market making side. If we look at their whole portfolio,
Yeah.
yeah, pretty wide. They're in the green. Their delta is pretty flat. And I would say this is probably an account that wants to optimize fees and maybe selling where people are buying so that they have a higher return. Uh, and it's not my account, but I would also be doing something similar to that if I were to trade, because the you want to have multiple positions at multiple strikes, and then if one person buys a lot, you may kind of allocate more capital. They may be overextending a little bit. They only have 30% left, so if they want to double down or at least increase their size, there's a ceiling maybe that they could hit. Uh, but yeah, this is pretty cool. The risk analysis will tell us about their liquidation
Mm.
prices. Again, this is leverage. They are 70% utilized, which is kind of high. I personally am between 40 and 50%. But the real risk is when will it get liquidated? And yes, if I were to tell you, do you think the price of Bitcoin will go below 64,000 or above 180,000 over the past
No.
next month? So if you see this on either the intern account or your own, does that worry you maybe, or how do you handle that price of
No,
liquidation
I
on
think
both
this
sides?
looks fun. It looks like when you look at the timestamps of all the options, it looks like they're, just adding, selling new options with current price changes and still earning the fees from prior ones that are a little bit wider range. And so it looks like this is working for them right now.
Yeah, yeah, sure. And then you made me think of it. So the red line is how much collateral you are required to have in your account, and this collateral requirement depends on price. That's why you have this weird kind of payoff here. The green one is your collateral balance, which is kind of pretty flat. So it's changing a little bit with price, but not much. But the key thing is that if they're selling options, they're earning a premium. And technically, that green line will go up and up and up over time, the more premium they earn. So it's going to be like mild. But if they were to do this for like multiple months, you could imagine that as the price, the premium is accumulating, the collateral curve goes up. The liquidation prices also go further out. So
Mhm.
again, maybe a 10% increase would mean it's now back to 50K and maybe 200K as liquidation. So this is another way where you are, the more you're in the market, the longer you wait, the better off you are in terms of risk, because you're collecting premium that can offset these losses. Oh, and they've been closing, very active, opening many positions, closing many positions. They may have been active before the start of the competition, but definitely on the green side.
Yeah.
Look at this, all of their trades making
Mhm.
money, and $3, whatnot. This may not seem like much, but at the end of the day, it's like small sustainable wins. Again, 0.4%, 3% in a few days or a few weeks is actually pretty good if you compound this. But yeah, they're definitely on the more experienced slash market making side. Selling, buying Bitcoin also. I trade on mainnet a little bit. It's actually pretty forgiving, even though there's big price moves. It's not the 40% or more that we see with meme coins and ETH. So yeah, I think the neutral strategists may be at an advantage here. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm surprised
Um,
to see such a neutral strategy as well. I think the last trading competition, the winning bets looked very different, and I was a little bit
yeah,
hesitant because I prefer to be more neutral as well. And I'm like, well, but neutral doesn't seem to really be putting you on the leaderboard. So do I even want to do it? But
no, same thing. My own Guillaume Lambert was a few percent up, but then that, like, I lost actually on the price going up on the ETH candle. So it's like, yeah, it's a different. Uh, in the long run, yes, you may be ahead, but if you are not prepared, you can effectively not make as much without losing necessarily. One thing that is important: this is the P&L of all of the positions. We have a way to show the deposits. this is actually also a well managed portfolio. They may be a bit bullish if we take their deposits into account, but it's not very asymmetrical. Sometimes people deposit a ton of BTC, for instance. Here they were pretty even handed, mainly a little bit more USDC even in their portfolio. So that means that the curve is fairly similar. The low delta is what you want to see. So yeah, this is a I'm rooting for this guy actually. Let's see a net neutral position holder, kind of be again creme the leaderboard. Um, let's look maybe at the biggest loser. I don't want to put anyone on the spot, but this is always kind of interesting to learn what the bad traders are doing and what type of strategy, because we haven't seen another price action. So is this a semi count? Yeah, there's something wrong here. Let's look at this one without singling out anyone. Okay, so this is one position in the CBBT that is losing a little bit, and that maybe is what contributes to their biggest losses. But again, it may not worry you or the intern, but yeah, how would you interpret that one position being, that one account being at the bottom?
Yeah,
Maybe.
I mean, I think this position looks perfectly fine when it was open 9 days ago. This looks like exactly like my position as well, kind of close to thinking the bottom is like 80, and once it goes above 15, yeah, 150,000, you don't you're out of range, but this isn't doesn't look too worrying.
Yeah, and I would say also it's a they unfortunately minted at the top. I'd say mint price was 109, which is probably the local top we saw here. So they may be kind of subjected to bad timing because when they minted, it only went down afterwards. But yes, it's not necessarily a bad trade because they're earning Streamia every day that goes by. They're earning a bit more. Is this gonna work? Uh, I didn't want to compare. Yeah, no, it's not gonna work. So yeah, they are doing the best. I mean, the only thing they could do is to wait and allow this position to work for them. They've earned almost like I don't know two. If you look at the position requirement, close to 10% per in premium over the past 9 days. So you can imagine another like 15, 20, even 30% extra coming in. So even if it's just one trade, the fees will now kind of slowly catch up and make what looks like a losing trail being positive. So yeah, I would also not fault the this person from being too low on the ranking because they are kind of on subjected to a bad price move, but still kind of on the right track.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, it's
Okay.
just started, so Bitcoin can definitely go up again. And our competition is 1 month long, and yeah, 9 days old option should be.
Should be fine. Yeah, yeah. This competition is a bit longer, so we do allow a little bit more room to play. 26 more days to go. The other one was 2 weeks, so it's if you trade monthly options or even weekly, like you do one trade, two trades, maybe now a month, you may have three or four trades or three or four kind of mini pico tops and bottoms to match. And let's look at one that is kind of neutral. Maybe it's a deposit to someone that's barely making money, and that might be the last account that we're looking at. But oh yeah, they just deposited, so this is a bit boring. Let's find one that seems to be not losing too much, not making too much, but still kind of on that range. So let's look at this one. Yes, a few folks were just depositing and doing nothing. This account deposited 12 hours ago, which is not long ago, purchased a call option. They are neutral because I believe that, yeah, price did not move. And they paid a little bit, which is not much, but a little bit in premium. Uh, and yeah, it's so new that they actually paid nothing for a while because presumably there was not that many trades. So, yeah, I think that's fine. So, would you be also, if you're strategizing for a potential trading competition, would you be neutral like we are with the intern account, or would you try to also catch these wild moves and be maybe on the buy side?
Um, I think right now, I think if Bitcoin I'd have to watch the market a little bit closer. If Bitcoin would go down significantly, I think I would buy a really bullish option. And same, I'd look for if what ETH is doing. If ETH somehow suddenly strikes, I would spikes. I would also buy a bullish option here. But I think because we kind of see Bitcoin a little bit more stable. And lower volatility, I would try to do something to kind of profit from that more.
Yeah, and maybe let's go back to one trade we just discussed. Maybe we do a risk reversal,
Mhm.
which is, as you say, some protection on the upside that you buy an option, but at the same time you sell another one. And I would go as, is there liquidity? Yeah, there's actually monthly liquidity. So that might be a very, very interesting trade. But you could imagine uh, selling a weekly option and creating what looks like a normal put, but then you have this upside protection on the hedge that exists, um, which is now allowing you to tap into the one. If it goes to 125K overnight, you would tap into this, but still earn fees while it's in
Okay,
range.
and but why
Again,
would we want protection on the upside if we're very bullish on Bitcoin?
yeah, I mean, this is the same position without
Mhm,
that.
okay.
So you
Yeah,
miss out. It's fine. You get a profit, which is great. But if it keeps going, you don't
okay.
earn anything.
That
So these risk reversals also are probably similar. Typically, they're paired with the asset itself, so it's like more like a could be a collar or something like that. But the key point is that yeah, it's managing what happens if you're right because it's bullish, but you're wrong because it was extremely bullish. So you hedge, I guess, the upside a
okay.
little bit,
No,
just kind of buying that extra
that
call.
sounds like
Yeah.
something I'd want to do, yeah.
Yes, and it could be two different trades, or if it's one trade, it's a bit simpler to manage too. So yeah, look at this. Okay,
Hopefully intern
so
is listening for
exactly. All right, so this was. I think this is it. Let's yeah, let's keep it about this time. So any other maybe yeah, maybe if we were to think about trades or anything that you have on your mind, like Bitcoin, ETH are definitely the kind of big players. Is there any other coins that you think you want to try out and we can set up on Friday?
Yeah, definitely. I think I want to kind of look a little bit more on my portfolio and see, since I've been losing on altcoins for a little while, I just hold them. And so kind of figuring out what to do in the meantime there, I think would be interesting, and kind of figuring out more, yeah, how to tap into the market. Hopefully ETH goes up as well, and we'll see kind of what happens from there.
Yeah, no, definitely. And then the yeah, same again. Sounds good. I'll probably also look into the competition, try to also uh, do a bit better than the EAT competition I did, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, this is meant to be fun. This is meant for an easy way for people to maybe understand Panoptic, understand how options are traded. We make it fun with a prize at the end, but it's also a way for you to kind of explore and then know if you have questions. Feel free to reach out. Could be on Twitter, could be on Discord, or again, anyway, if we are at conferences, ask us, and we'll be happy to talk about yeah your experience. But yeah, I think that was it. So uh, thanks everyone for joining, and we'll do the best trades of the week with Brandon on Friday. Looking forward to this. So we did a sneak peek now, but we'll have something a bit more concrete on Friday. But yeah, this was great,
Awesome.
and
Thank you, everybody.
yeah, thanks everyone, and yeah, have a good one.